Good morning and welcome to another edition of Outside at Genie, where we will be looking at the race meeting on the Vaal Classic track today, the 2nd of March. We kick off with the first race at 12:35 on an 8 race program. The first race being a work riders maiden plate over the 1,000 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. The betting as follows: race the red lantern 7 to 10, 3 to 1 ace of spades, love lies 6 to 1, 9 to 1 justice reach 18 to 1 wisdom, Lil Wahoo 28 to 10 and 55 and longer the rest. Well, we start off here with a red hot favorite, and I do feel that this card today is a card where one could make a bit of money. And unfortunately, we're picking up with a 7 to 10 favorite, but the form for this horse do look strong. It's had run some decent races, um, but there's just something here that bothers me. It shows here that this horse was beaten twice by Successful Secret. Now, I don't know how Successful Secret can win two maiden races. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe we should just quickly just check the form. I haven't. I was on form grids before, and let me just quickly check there what the situation is um, on that. I must admit, I don't use form grids all the time, but sometimes I do get, it does help one. So let's look at race one, number one. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, here is the thing. Um, if I can remember, I think Successful Secret did win the race, but was disqualified, and then Forbes Quarry won it. If I'm not mistaken, I think that has happened there, but I'm not sure. I don't know what the secret is. But while we're here, we can somehow have a look here and we'll see that it wasn't a very strong field. Let's quickly have a look here. The next race, yeah, he ran again behind Successful Secret, ran second again. Yeah, there's some winners here at the bottom. Okay. Dean and Low has won since, and Life Goes On has won since. But yeah, and then there's been a few second places from some of the horses behind. Let's have a look at this one here. Yeah, beaten last time by Humble Tune. I think Humble Tune is going to be a fair sort. There's one winner out of that major winter. So, yeah, I think the horse has got fair form, can probably go in. The one horse I'm scared of is number two, Love Lies, just because of the jockey. This Matsuele, he knows how to ride a horse. As I said before, he used to go to the Jockey Academy but never completed it, and certainly he knows how to play, how to ride a horse. So if you go for the favorite, maybe just back yourself up with an exacta 1 and 2 box. Then for outsider selections in this race, um, I'm going for number two, as I said, that's one of my outsider selections, and then number three, Justice Reach. Last time out, Justice Reach didn't run well, but this jockey Orange, he's only had one ride, and he won Mr. Botha. The last week or so, he won, but Justice Reach didn't run a good race last time out. Um, but it's just not a very strong field, so I can probably involved in the finish because there's not a lot after that. Ace of Spade, I think, can also improve to be involved in the finish, number four. So it looks like number one, two, three, and four might be the horses involved in the finish. But maybe Wisdom Willow Magic by Vaal may can maybe improved on his first run. Says here stubborn loading. It looks like there was a little bit of small support. Lily Wahoo did run a fifth place, but way behind. And Quick Run is also battling, and Willow Lane might be improved from his last race, but will have to improve the, you know, leaps and bounds. So I do look race number one. That number one, Rise the Lantern, is the business. So let's move on to race number 2, which is another maiden plate over 1,000 meters. And here the betting is as follows. Magic 10, 11 to 10. Dalgety Bay 28 to 10. Country Mile 4 to 1. 10 to 1 Cape Diamond. Sky Diamond 10 to 1. Smelting 10, 18 to 1 and 55 to 1 and longer. And scratch number 8 Zulu War Cry. Here again we have a strong favorite. Last time out I did tell everybody who wanted to listen that I think Magic Choice will run an improved race, and he did so. So Magic Choice draw 1. Luke Ferraris on board has run against some fair opposition. Theatre of Dreams, Duchess of Now, and last time out running on well 23.1. Fastest 400 to finish, and was still hanging out, but still managed to run second. And I think number 9, Magic Choice, a huge runner in this race. Outsider selection that you might look at is number 3, Cape Diamond, also run a nice race last time behind Jam Fancy, and also was in that form line of Theatre of Dreams. But definitely with Simonga Kumana on board, must have a chance in this lineup. Other outside selection that you want to make up, have a look at, is another Botha runner, Sky Kingdom. Musieni on board has run second behind Jam Fancy, but disappointed behind Fast Rock. But you know, these horses have been running against each other, so definitely you need to follow them. Here we have number 4, Smelting, that in your larger quartets, you probably want to put this horse in the back end of your quartets. So let's move on to race number 3, which is a Pinnacle Stakes over 1,800 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. And here's one of my favorite horses running. Uh, the favorite is 12 to 10, but my favorite is Jetstar. I've backed this horse on a number of times, and most of the time it comes through. Last time again, when it won at a nice price, was also my outright selection. Shivers 5 to 2, Rouge Allure 8 to 1, Sunshine Silk 28 to 1, Scratch 6 and 7. Oh, that scratching must have come through after I've done my selections, because here in race 3, my selection was number 1, Jet Start, and as I said last time out, again, 1 at 10 to 1, was weighted to win that race, best weighted and best handicap in the race, and certainly a horse. I mean, after 50 run, 1 runs, 9 wins, definitely no donkey. And I think Jet Start ready to run a huge race again against Ballet Shoes. I think this should be the 2 horses involved in the finish, these 2. And then my outsider selection was number 7, but that's subsequently scratched, as is number 5, 6 Destiny's Game. So only 5 runners going to the post. I think Rouge Allure can probably place, but I would think 1,800 might just be a little bit too far, although it ran second behind Lily Blue. But I think today you might find it at number 1 and 2 was too strong for it. So I'm just gonna, and then number 3, Shivers, is a horse that can surprise. The Dory Sham stable is in form, so I would certainly include this horse into my pick 6 play. Shivers, just for the upset, because the stable is in form. The horse hasn't won for quite a long time, but he's getting there and might surprise on the day. And not too long in the betting, 5 to 2. So those are, I think, is the 3 horses that will probably fight out the finish 1, 2, and 3. So then we move on to race number 4, which is a maiden plate over 1,600 meters. And here we have also number 8, Dance About the Sun, 2 to 1, Diamonds and Dollars 2 to 1, Just Judy 9 to 2, 10 to 1, Amber Low Star, Bedouin Bride 15 to 1, 16 to 1, Princess Tatiana, Party Song 20 to 1, 28 to 1 and longer, and scratch number 2, Courtney Lee. I do want to warn you today, you need to include all the runners of, where possibly you can, of St. John Gray. So my first choice here is the favorite, number 8, Dance About the Sun. Now, this horse ran 9 innings behind Say When, but if you have a look here, it was yielding going, and this horse still managed to run at 21.8, second fastest 400 to finish. Although it was way behind the winner, it really ran on well. And yeah, the winner skipped, I think, at the right time and caught the other horses flat-footed. And yeah, won by 9 lengths. Not something that you see every day. So in this race, my selection is number 8, Dance About the Sun. You do have number 9, Diamonds and Dollars, which can be his biggest opposition, but also do include the 2 St. John Grey horses. This horse, Amberglow Star, last time out ran second, 2 lengths behind Got You, so certainly improved at the long price. And his stablemate, Party Song, the 2 runs that you don't see here, the one on the 25th, he ran 5th behind Got You. And then there was 10 lengths behind. But then last time out ran fourth, 3.25 behind Ross Perana. And this horse is getting fit, so you need to watch out for this horse. Can surprise you. Will not leave it out of my play. And then if you want to play Quartetto, do include number 4, Bedouin Bride, who was 5th, 3 lengths behind, also behind Ross Perina. So those are outsiders that you need to include in your play with the favorites. I would think in this field. Just Judy can also improve Vercingetorix. They have a reasonable first race, a drawn one, and can improve. And then also maybe in the back end of your quartets, just pop in this number 11. If I'm not mistaken, if I look at this young sensation, this filly is a full sister to Legal Eagle. So watch out for this one as well, Princess Diana. Then move on to race number 5, which is another maiden plate over 1600 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Eskimo Pie 2-1, Ricardo 28-10, McBeasy 4-1, Sergey 5-1, Fast Draw 8-1, Jackhammer 14-1, and 22-1, and longer the rest. Here in this race, I'm going for a little bit of an outsider, which is number 7, Sergey. This is a soft falling rain by a Windrush mare. Now, this horse is now going for the first time over a little bit of a distance, over 1600 meters, having had 2 runs over 1200 meters. But I do have a feeling that 2 runs, those 2 distances, was too short for this horse. And I'm sure today over the 1600 meters, you're going to see a different horse. And Dens, they got Warren Kennedy on board. And I do believe Sergey today in this field is going to be a big runner. Well, outside the selections, I went for number 4, Jackhammer. Also a Jackson by Jalad Mir. Did run an improved race last time over behind Imperial Duke. Just, was up with the pace and weakened over the last bit. But certainly, this is the 3rd run after a race and will certainly strip a fitter horse. Also, Waisha Marvin on board, definitely one of the best riders you can have on one of your horses. And then my other outsider selection is number 6, Ramonian. Ramon is also from a Sinner Grade stable. And I think Kumala on board, this horse also looks ready to improve. He's also having his 3rd run after a race. And I think this horse, slow into stride, slow lost, always slow. But one day he's going to jump, be up there with the pace and surprise. Now, also that you need to include is number 1, Ricardo. I think didn't run a good race last time, but I think can improve today. Also, McBeasy, same in the same race, uh, just in front of number 1, can also improve. Eskimo Pie surely has got a huge chance, has been there and thereabouts, but didn't suggest like this is going to be a future champion, but probably will win a race or 2. So let's move on to race number 6, where the betting is as follows. It's a merit rate at 79, handicap 1600 meters. Class D, average merit rate at 73. Here the betting is as follows. Number 5, Wakar 16-10, Storm Commander 5-1, Fred 6-1, Romeo's Magic 7-1, River Jordan 9-1, Atomic Blonde 10-1, FS Squadron 15-1, Forever Light 16-1, 20-1, and Better the Rest. So here in this race, my first selection is number 8, Fred. Last time, the previous run with Fred, when he won um, his debut here in Gauteng, I did give him at 16-1, and one of my members included into two. On that day, both my value bids and my best bid won, and he got 25,000 to 100 when he won here at 16-1, beating Contrail. Then last week, Saturday, he ran um, and against a much stronger field, he still managed to run fourth, 5 lengths um, behind Lavaloo. But that horse where was weighted to win. Sorry, he was 7 lengths behind, but he was fourth. But that horse carried like 49 and a half, and Fred was carrying 60, so that made a big difference. Now today, back in his own class, and I'm expecting Fred to, with Genie on board today, to run another very good race, and I think he'll be hard to beat in this field. Then for outsider selections, we're gonna go with number 6, which is Romeo's Magic, the stablemate. Maybe you should take a nice exacta here. Also, a horse that won out of the blue, and since then has relatively kept his form. Been running there and about, carried the -1.5 today. Last time out ran in a 86. Today running in a 73. So down in class, and I think Romeo's Magic can probably also be involved in the finish with his stablemate. And then my other outsider selection is number 9, which is Storm Commander. Storm Commander also a horse that is always going to be running there 3, 4 lengths behind, but not very consistent. But the thing why I'm going for number 9 is this horse won 1.5 lengths against behind Wily Winch. Wally Winch won a future over the weekend at 12-1, beating some very good horses. So certainly this form has been frank. And if this horse Storm Commander can repeat that run, I think we'll definitely be in the photos when the photos are taken at the finishing line. So let's move on to race number 7. Race number 7 is 1450. Fillies and Mares 93. Class B average betting rating 83. Now the betting as follows. Number 1, Way Up the World 17-10. Little Rain 22-10. What You Are 13-2. Kaila's Champ 9-1. 9-1. Flaming Duchess. Impressive Duchess 12-1. And Now You See Me 12-1. Scratch 4 and 6. Now in this race, I'm going for a horse that I've been following for a while now, and I think today might be the day that she's going to produce, and that's number 1, Kayla's Champ at 9-1. This horse constantly run against far better opposition than in this race. This is an 83. She's been running in 97s, 92s. Um, at the end of last year, she won a few races. I think 2 races in a row. And yeah, since then has been running against some War of Athena, Destiny's Game, Marigold, Vars Ricky, Mill Queen, all good horses. And last time out, I had to give a lot of weight to a good horse, CM. And I think today, Carlos Champ, Way of the World is a very consistent horse, always there and thereabouts, but coming off a rest, off a win. So I'm not sure. But previously was beaten by a relatively, I think, not a world beat, a decadent lady. And one is not always sure with Way of the World, but she managed to win 4 out of 6 races. So not to, that is not a bad record. Then number 3, What You Are is also a horse that was at one stage 104, now 88. Has also run against some decent opposition before, but was beaten by Way of the World. And I think is going to find it hard to turn the weight around the 6 lengths behind Way of the World. So I think Way of the World is holding number 3, What You Are. Impressive Duchess, I do think the distance will be too far. Maybe I'm mistaking the horse is running on, but I really feel so. Flaming Duchess is a horse that is in and out, but on her day she can surprise in this kind of company. And then 7 Little Rain, one of the favorites. That one well last time out in 81, so maybe similar class. But was also beaten by this horse, Decadent Lady, which I said to you is not a world beater. He's been in a 76. So it's not like I would rush to the bookmakers to put my money on Little Rain. Now you see me has had a stable change in his last run, a horse that can always surprise, and if you can afford, put into your bigger quartet into your quartet trifecta and pick 6 selections. Then we move on to race number 8, 1450, Class D, merit rated 71, March, Felicia May 71, Class, average merit rating 71. Let's have a look at the beating. And here you have got that runaway winner, which we saw the form earlier, 70 to 20, say Wayne Capitiano, 13 to 2, 11 to 1 meet time, 11 to 1 fantasy flower. Lou win 12 to 1, Perfect Angel 14, 15 to 1, Ready Set Low, and 20 to 8 to 1 and longer the best. Scratch number 11, Largo Bay. Now, guys, I want to warn you, this horse did one easily, and I'm also taking it as my first selection. But this horse is beatable. You know, sometimes horses wins their maiden plates by far, and then people just lump onto this horse. You remember this horse has run a maiden. Now she's running against some um, upper class horses, some of them hard knockers. So I will definitely not take that. That's maybe included in doubles and all the comes and triples and so on. But to punt it on the nose, I will not do it because there are horses that can win this race. I think Capitiana, the distance is going to be too far, but I can be wrong. Me Time is a horse that hasn't won for nearly 800 days, but it's always there and thereabouts. Last time out running unlicensed, before that 22.9, 22.6. That's good times for 400 to finish. So a type of horse that can be involved in a finish, as is number 3, Decadent Lady. We did see that the form of this horse keep on popping up here and there, and certainly a horse that can surprise over the 1350, but drawn 13, which will make it a very hard task, but not impossible. Perfect Angel, in my mind, also a horse that you're going to have a look at, because if you have a look at this horse, she beat Rosperina. Rosperina has now won last week. Little Rain has won again. Magical Flight has won 2 races, has won again, and then Sparkly Water, not the donkey either. So it has been running against some decent opposition. So certainly number 4, Perfect Angel, not without a chance. So yeah, and then Louvain last time I did gave this horse as one of my outsider selection, and certainly he also likes the distance. 3 runs, 2 wins, so certainly no donkey itself. So as you can see, and then here's number 8, Miss Khalifa. Miss Khalifa is a horse, you'll never know what she does. The one day she can run brilliantly, the other day she can't beat the local donkey. But when she decides to run, she can win this race very easily. Has been running against some decent opposition in the past, have already won 4 races. She's got a devastating finish, and if she really puts it together, she can run down the favorite. That is for sure. Number 9, Ready, Set, Glow, also a horse that, on a day can also produce, has run some decent races in the past, also chance. So as you can see, as I go through the field, we can make a case for about any horse. Fantasy Flower also won, beat Diamonds and Dust. Diamonds and Dust came out and won again yesterday at the Poly. A very nice race. Ryan Munger, a very good jockey that you cannot underestimate. Lager Bay is a scratching. Number 12 is Super Fine. Getting the minus 1.5, only carrying 50 and a half, has won over the Vaal 1500 meters, and didn't run, two very mediocre races. But certainly, if she wants to put it together, go to the front and say, well, this lightweights, catch me if you can. And then lastly, number 13, Seneca Falls. Yeah, well, if she wins, it will be a disaster. Last time I'd lost the rider at the start, so you can discard that. But it's only carrying 50 and a half as well, and has had some nice 400 to finishes here behind ration my passion. So do run on a bit. So certainly in my pick six, I'm including the field. But if you want to banker, do it at your own peril. Or maybe play two pick sixes, where the one you banker, the one, and in the other one you include a field for, just in case she gets beaten. So that brings us to the end of my forecast, my preview for the day at the Vaal. I hope you have a good day and I can point you in the direction of a few winners. And as I always say, break a leg.